to the Big Ten now. So I mentioned it. Justin Fields started a petition requesting the Big Ten immediately reinstate the 2020 football season. As of last night, I saw the signature had more than 175,000 people that have signed it. It's a lot of people. And this goes back to something that we've continued to talk about on this show. You can't tell me that you want college athletes to have a voice, and then when they actually speak out and say, we want to play this fall, we feel safe. Not speak out, they're screaming out. That's the general consensus. We want to play this fall, we feel safe. And then you can't then say, oh, well, we can't let college kids make this type of decision. What are we doing here? Either you have a voice or you don't have a voice. These college athletes are telling you they feel safe on campus. They will abide by the protocols that CDC people have approved. And then you have some on the media saying, we can't let college kids make this type of decision. But you're the same people that want them to speak out on social issues. You're the same people that want them to speak out and use their voice and unionize and be compensated for their work. I'm all about consistency on this show. If you're going to tell college kids to speak out on social issues and speak out on their likeness and being paid for it, which I think they should be, then you can't tell me that when they say they want to play this fall, oh, we can't let them make that type of decision. That's hypocritical. There's a double standard there. You don't see it? And here's another big issue with the whole Big Ten deciding to cancel now. On August 5th, Kevin Warren was asked about his son. His son is a student athlete, plays tight end in the SEC at Mississippi State. He said on August 5th, quote, I've asked myself as a father, would I be comfortable for him, referring to his son, to participate in the Big Ten based upon the testing policies, protocols, and procedures we have in place? And as of today, the answer is yes. The Big Ten even put out its schedule 4 days before they ended up canceling the fall season. So I think all these players have a right to know what changed. How about Kevin Warren comes out and justifies the position his conference took with the, quote, science they used to make this decision? The Big Ten commissioner's own son has an opportunity to decide whether or not he wants his son to play college football. And that's a decision that all the Big Ten kids' parents didn't get. And that's all I think we're asking for. Let everyone have a right to choose. There's inherent risk in everything we do in our world, including playing football, whether there be a coronavirus or not. Now all of a sudden we care about player health and safety? That's BS, especially when you talk about a spring season. You can't sell me on the health and safety of a player and then say, oh, but we'll play 18 games in the calendar year. You can't do it. So listen, if you're going to cancel college football, I would like to see every conference be in unison on the decision. Have a sound decision based off of science and based off of the circumstances we're all dealing with. But for some conferences to have the right to choose to play, and for a conference like the Big Ten to not even have that right, when the vast majority of the players want to play, did you read the letter over the weekend that Iowa's football parents wrote to the Big Ten? I read a letter from Christian McCaffrey's parent. Christian McCaffrey's parents have a son who plays quarterback at Michigan. They wrote a strongly worded letter to the Big Ten as well. I'm all about consistency. I'm all about choice. If you're going to tell me you want players to speak out on a variety of different issues, don't silence them because it doesn't fit your narrative if they say they want to play and feel safe on campus. I mean, look what happened with the Oklahoma players. They left campus. They came back. 9 of them tested positive for the virus. There's no bulletproof way to do this. But I'll take my chances with college football at least attempting to be played in the fall than trying to push it off to the spring where I just don't think that's realistic. And oh, by the way, I want to get to some info here that could potentially be a game changer for both the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. A new saliva test for COVID-19 protocols. This saliva test could potentially provide results in under 3 hours. Under 3 hours. This test is a game changer, And rather than me try and explain it to you what specifically it is, take a listen to Cheddar TV this morning breaking down this breakthrough test for COVID-19.
A saliva direct test from Yale got emergency authorization used from the FDA on Saturday. Researchers say the test can produce results in less than 3 hours, with results as accurate as that traditional nasal swab. Now, saliva direct tests could become available to the public in the next few weeks, and the NBA helping fund the research and is using the tests right now. Meanwhile, new data suggesting that as many as 40% of COVID tests in the country come back too late to truly be clinically meaningful. And experts say results should ideally come back in 2 or 3 days at most.
This is 3 hours. 3 hours, you can get the results back. So this is why I had such a big issue with the Big Ten canceling its fall season. They didn't need to make this decision in early August. They could have pushed back the start of their season to late September like the SEC is doing. And if this testing is as readily available as they say it will be, this saliva test, with a cost of only $4, oh, by the way, then every school can implement this before games and know who exactly has COVID-19 and who doesn't have COVID-19 before they hit the field. Testing is the key to sports continuing. Testing is the key to sports getting on the field in the first place. Specifically in a sport like college football where there isn't a bubble. So this is why the Big Ten and then the lapdogs that are the Pac-12 acted way too quick, because there's new information developing every day. So this saliva test that could get you the results back in under 3 hours is an absolute game changer for sports. You could test everybody and know who has what before they step on the field. The NFL could do the exact same thing. They could test everyone early mornings before the game, get the results back, and go from there. I mean, doesn't this make the Big Ten look even worse? That they reacted early when they didn't have to? What's the rush to try and postpone the season? And also, no one's been able to explain what changed in the 4 days after the Big Ten put out its schedule. And then 4 days later, it's like, we're canceling the season. When the vote wasn't unanimous, I think out of the 14 schools, 8 wanted to cancel, 6 wanted to play. Something along those lines. Certainly was not unanimous. So, I mean, please give me a break. It's just total overreaction by the Big Ten. But it goes back to what I said at the top of this segment here. You can't be that guy that says you want college athletes to have a voice, to be compensated, to form a union, to speak out on social issues. And then they tell you, we want to play, we love football, we feel safe on campus, we trust our schools to put protocols in place. If we get the virus, we have the best health care around us helping us recover. You can't say you want them to have a voice, then they use that voice and say they want to play, start a petition which has 175,000 plus signatures. You then can't say, oh, well, we can't let college kids make that type of decision. You just can't. You can't be half pregnant. Either you're all in with letting college athletes have their voice, or you're not. Stop the hypocritical garbage. Do I know if college football is going to play in the fall? I don't. Do I think they should at least try? I do. I don't think there's harm in trying. Because I don't think this spring season that's been a fallback to some is realistic at all. Can't sell me on health and safety of players and then try and play 18 games in a calendar year.